first week of breastfeeding, that first week whereby you're from hospital, you're holding your little angel, but then the music, the rhythm of that week is sometimes not very easy to handle, and sometimes it can be ups and downs, some challenges, but anything has got a beginning and an end. So that's why I'm saying that first week, it may not be very easy for you. So here I'm going to just share some tips on what you can do to make that week an easy one, to make that week bearable, to make that week a comfortable week when you're enjoying your little one. You should not enjoy your little one while you're having any ups and downs. So today I'm just going to share five tips that may help you to ease your week when you're just from the hospital, when you come back at home, whether you have given birth through vaginal birth, or you have given birth through a cesarean section. All your baby is there, your baby is out with you. So you are here in your home enjoying that moment, but there are some few things that you're going to discuss, and the one and foremost thing is the latching positioning. Latching and positioning, it's very important. Why I'm saying latching and positioning, because once your baby gets a good latch from day go, once you have got a good positioning of your baby from day go, it will help you. It will help you to seize a lot of things. It will help you to seize the pain. It will help you to minimize a lot of things. So from day go, start with a good latch. And how do you do a good latch? You can read, you can Google information. Nowadays, the world is a lot of information is out there. So you can Google on how to do a good latch. You can read on other YouTubers on how, a lot of information is there on how to make sure that you give a good latch. But here I'll just give you a hint. When I mean by a good latch, from a day go, the baby's mouth is so tiny at that moment. So sometimes we feel sorrow, like, how can I just a big thing like this one, and you're like, how can I put the whole thing in the areola part to be inside my baby's mouth and things like. So you can, like, you're breastfeeding while you're fearing, you're like, no, I cannot do this. I'll just do a little bit. I'll just make sure that the baby just hold a little bit of the nipple, thinking that you're helping your baby in that day, because you're so afraid. You're like, I just want the baby to just suckle a little bit like that, but not knowing that by doing that, it will cause a lot of problems. So make sure that you make sure that you give a good latch, and a good latch is by giving your baby your breast, the whole areola part, to be inside your baby's mouth. Try. I know the mouth is so tiny and little, but then don't make sure that only the nipple goes inside. No, that won't be a good latch, because first of all, you want to make sure that the baby suckles in a lot of breast and gets enough breast milk from the day go. And this, it will help you a lot. When the baby gets a good latch, when the baby gets satisfied, the baby will be full, and all the other things will be minimized, like crying and things like that. But the other thing is positioning, the way you position your baby. There are so many position styles. There is this cradle hold, the way you call. We're going to look at those positions, but I'm just going to mention them. There are so many. There is football hold, there's cross hold, there is side lying position, where I don't have a baby here, but just read and do researches that can help you to make sure that you are doing a good positioning. And it depends on how small the baby, because from the time the baby in that first week, the baby is so tiny, so you want to make sure that the baby is so close to you. So here you can use that skin to skin, the cradle positioning. You are so tight or close to your baby. So latching and positioning, they will help you in that first week to make sure that you continue with latching and good position. This will help you. Feeding frequency and duration, it's also another important thing. What I mean by frequency here, feeding frequent feeding. You know that in that first week, you are going to feed your baby either 8 to 12 times within 24 hours. So find that 8 to 12 times is not an easy job. So you find that you feed after 2 hours, your baby needs feeding. Every after 2 hours, your baby needs feeding. So you find that frequency of feeding. So you can keep track on that, because it won't disturb you in the future. If you have already kept that track, you're feeding your baby every after 2 hours, you know that every after 2 hours I need to do this. Every after 2 hours, I need to feed my baby. But also on free feeding frequency, there's also this responsive feeding. Here, what we mean by responsive feeding is responding to cues. You feed when your baby is hungry. This one is also okay. You can do that. It just depends on what is very comfortable on your side. When your baby is maybe hungry, like I'm going to feed my baby when my baby gives me some cues that he's hungry. Maybe when he's crying, maybe he's licking fingers and licking the lips and everything. You'll know that your baby better. So it's very okay to start studying your baby as early as possible. If you're going to give frequent feeding, or you're going to feed according to response of the baby. The other thing is monitor your baby's intake. Monitor your baby, the wet diapers and dirty diapers. When to change. Sometimes they say that in that first week you have to change diapers 6 times. Your baby will be wet. So make sure that at least you keep track on that, on when to change the diapers, and responding to those cues. Is my baby crying because the diaper is wet? I've fed in these two so those are dealing and monitoring your baby's intake is also another thing to do. Then deal with common issues here. Start as early as possible, dealing with minimize engagements on the breast. Try to see how you're going to minimize the risk. Sore nipples, what you're going to do. And here say, if you're giving your baby a good latch, all the things will be minimized, because you'll like engagements. If you are all the breast milk is suckled out, or if you're pumping everything from the day go, it will minimize a lot of blocked ducts. When you're having all those problems with mastitis and everything like that, if you start them as early as possible by doing this, then it will help you to minimize the risk of engagements, the risk of sore nipples.